Cindy from Studioloo, and I'm here with a bit of a different kind of video today. I'm going to be working on a project for 1 minute. These. So this is my box of 30 succulents that need pots, and so yeah, they need to get potted today. So I'm going to have a little craft along with me video. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do is I want to paint all of these pots in the same theme because they're all going to go into my office. So I have 30 of these little guys, and they're all going to go on the windowsill of my office to hopefully bring some more green to the indoors because we're stuck inside. So I'm using just some simple paint from my stash. This is Americana and Spa Blue, and I have this liquid leaf, and it's a gold leaf. This stuff is very stinky, so we're going to use it sparingly and quickly. Just give it a good shake. So yeah, so I'm just going to paint these pots today. And I have the substrate downstairs. I like to pot my succulents. I didn't even bring a palette. I'm going to just do this like really simply. So I have downstairs, I'm soaking the substrate that I'm going to be planting these in. So succulents like a lot of sun, a good soaking in a drained container, and then basically sort of sporadic watering. You don't want to keep them too wet. They like to just get wet and then get dry. So you don't have to overwater them, or you don't have to water them a whole lot. You risk overwatering, and then they can basically rot and they can stretch out from too much darkness. So you need lots of light and lots of draining material. So I use sort of a gritty mix to plant them in, and that consists of little stones and a little bit of soil to hold the nutrients. And it's good to use like a cactus or succulent soil. And then basically you mix it with a substrate. I'm using coconut husk, the same kind of stuff that you would use inside like the tank for a lizard or something like that. You can buy them in these condensed bricks, and you soak them in water for half an hour and they expand, and one little brick will make like 7 or 8 liters of substrate. So you mix those 3 things all together, and you have a well-drained mix that will allow water to go through, and you always want to have a hole in your pot. So these little guys are just like 2-inch pots, so these are like starter succulents. So I'm just kind of getting them started. I'm not looking to make these succulents very big. And I am going to be, as they grow, I'm going to be pulling off leaves and starting new succulents, because I'm trying to just propagate a whole forest of succulents in my house eventually. One secret tip, if you're looking to start your own succulents, it's actually pretty easy to do. There's a lot of YouTube videos on it, so I won't bother to make one. But basically, when you have a leaf that you've separated from the main plant, you just let it sit. You just allow it to sit for 2 or 3 days to heal. So the end that was broken will kind of form like a little sealed, dried kind of, I guess the equivalent of a scab for a plant. And so once you've allowed that to heal, you can then let it sit for a few days. You can put it on soil, just lay down some soil, and then put your healed plant pieces down, and they will, over a couple of weeks, 2 to 4 weeks usually, they will develop a small root system, and that's when you can actually plant them. Because you want them to have a root system before you plant them, because otherwise they could just be sitting in water getting waterlogged. So it's pretty easy. What my plan is for these is just to paint them all the same color, and then I'm going to do different gold leafing patterns on each one, like maybe geometric shapes. And then I have a Richard Scarry book that I'm going to be cannibalizing for making journals. So I'm going to take a few little tiny pictures out of it and decoupage them on these pots, because I love children's themes and I'm a huge Richard Scarry fan. So I think that that'll just be a very cute little pattern. I was sort of torn between doing some kind of a modern look for these and just something that was like fun. So I will hopefully accomplish both. I took a look on Pinterest at what different people are doing, but I didn't want anything that was so like, I don't know, Pinteresty. Nothing against Pinterest, but sometimes things all kind of look like you've seen the same thing done by so many people, and I like to add a bit of a signature to pretty much everything that I do and that I put in my home. So I will add Richard Scarry because I love Richard Scarry. I'm just working in my office today. I am on my lunch hour from work, and decided that I would take a lunch hour and just do something creative to kind of break the monotony of working, because my work schedule is really high maintenance right now. I've been sort of the stand-in person doing the job of another person that does the same job as me, my colleague who was on a medical leave for a while. So she's returned today, thankfully, because they just had me do her job too. So I had to do the job of two people because somehow that's a thing. But I'm very happy to be not doing that, because all of my own work has really amped up a lot, and I don't have much free time at all. So I'm sort of balancing right now. There's some benefits to being at home right now in that, we get to not have to commute anywhere, and that's nice. And also, I guess, not having any obligations of any kind. It kind of gives you more time if you can, if you're not feeling crummy, because some of us are feeling crummy, and that's fine too. You've just got to try to manage whatever you can with a little bit of balance. Whatever you're able to do, that's enough. And everyone is suffering in some aspect right now. Like, either we're not getting enough good nutrition, or we're not getting enough exercise, or we're not getting our home renovations done, or we're not getting our work done. Yeah, it's a time of just tumultuous things, and I think both anxiety and health problems and things like that, and just possibly financial inconsistencies or problems with employment, all of those things can impact us right now. And so I say just try to do the best you can and try to blend your time a little bit. I know it's really hard for parents right now, and for artisans, or people who don't have stable work that they can do remotely, but I really hope that for as long as possible, everybody can remain quarantined and self-distancing so that we can hopefully kick this thing. Because I guess my worry is that we won't be aggressive enough, and then we'll have another wave of this begin, and maybe it will mutate a little, and then we'll be in the same position, if not worse. So I'm really hoping that everyone can try to do the best they can. I know it's really hard to stay indoors and to not see your friends and family. I'm definitely going through the same thing, especially having children, because, especially with babies, the stages that they're in are so quick, and you feel, at least I feel with my baby, that all of the family, everybody that he would normally see, are kind of missing out on his babyhood, and that makes me a little bit sad. But at the same time, we're protecting our grandparents and other people, our friends, and people who might not handle this as well as the rest of us. So we just got to do what we got to do, right? But yeah, this paint is really nice. I don't know. Painting terracotta is a really soothing thing to me. I really enjoy painting terracotta. There's just something about the dry clay. It just really likes to drink the paint up, and it doesn't require a lot of coats, and it just looks nice. I was torn between using just this color and using maybe a baby pink on half of them, but then I thought, well, I don't want this to look like some kind of a weird traditional like nursery of baby pink and blue or something, so I'm just going to go with one color. I kind of think that will look nice. I have a big window in my office of three, it's actually 3 windows that are all together, and it's at the front of our house, and so we get a lot of light. So hopefully these succulents will enjoy all that light and they will stay alive. And I picked them up from a website called Grow Something that's here in Toronto, and I was able to pick them up curbside, which is nice. It's a relatively easy, quick transaction, and now I'm hoping that I can keep them alive and then be able to produce my own succulents for a while. The nice thing with buying succulents, like it can be a little bit pricey to buy a bunch of succulents. They're very sort of trendy now because people are planting terrariums and using them in weddings as favors and that kind of thing. So they've definitely gone up a little in price because of the trendiness of them. But they're very easy to care for, and so yeah, I would recommend them if you need a little bit more green in your house. This is just a fun project to do. And they're going to be very nice in my window here. Okay, so I'm back. This video has been paused and continued. So it's after lunch now, and I have painted and dried the paint on all 30 of the little pots. So now I am ready to go painting the motifs with the gold leafing. I've also gotten my my soil, substrate, and stone mix, and that's what it looks like. And this week I have fertilizer coming. It's essentially like a seafood based fertilizer that's coming, a shrimp sort of phytoplankton, shrimp phytoplankton based fertilizer, an organic one. That's the trouble with being unable to go to a lot of places, is that you can't buy things. Holy moly, this is super stuck, this lid. Wow, okay. I have to go get someone stronger than me to open this. I'll be right back. Okay, so I actually managed to open this myself. This stuff is really sticky, so I'm actually going to open a window maybe. We'll see what the noise is like outside. Okay, it's not too bad. With everybody at home, there's more people kind of messing around in their yards these days. So this paint is very thin. So let's just try something simple to see how this goes. I don't want to get too much on the brush because it's really weird. So maybe we'll just do little spots. This is runny, but it dries really quick. There we go, it's a little more uniform. Just got to get used to this. I haven't painted with this stuff before on anything but paper. Okay, so there's one done. Little spots. I'm just putting them over in the windowsill in the sun to dry. Maybe this one will do sort of this to the bottom. I'm just going to make this up as I go along. So I definitely encourage you to get out a project and craft along with me in this video. I know some of these videos are like a little slower than others. I'm not really being too choosy about my content at the moment or the production of my content. These videos are just kind of like not my my diaries during this time, but kind of. Just wanting to share little creative things that I'm doing. So that's that one. It's just very cute. One nice thing about right now is seeing more people that I don't normally see are making content to share with people. I think it's our way of all wanting to be connected. I never realized how much of an extrovert I was until I had no choice but to be an introvert. Just doing some rough stripes on this one. I don't know if I'm going to have enough ideas when I get all the way to pot 30. We'll see. Maybe I should have got another thinner brush. I might take a break and do that because it would be nice to do like little donut shapes maybe. Maybe I will do like a wrap around. Then maybe like make it the shape of a ribbon. This is a really not a great brush. This is definitely like a children's paintbrush. I should have grabbed a real paintbrush probably. But every now and then you just gotta finagle something. There. Maybe just some long diagonal lines, and maybe I'll cross them again. We'll see. I kind of like how that looks on its own actually. Maybe just touch the top of this a little more. There we go. I'll see if I can do hearts with this brush. Not on this attempt. Let's turn these into something else maybe. Happy accident. Just gotta get your Bob Ross spirit. It's very nice and sunny outside today. even though it is a bit cold. I went outside to photograph some things for my next shop update, and it was pretty chilly. And it'd be really good for doing this would be like Posca pens. They seem to be like the outrageously popular thing that artists are using now, but they're very expensive, and I sort of don't know how I would want to invest in them, because like, what colors do you want to choose? What set? I don't know. I don't have enough use for them, maybe. And I would hate to get something like that and then to have it like dry out. Also, I just have way too many art supplies. That's one thing that I've like started to appreciate being home all the time, and not being able to really buy things as I normally would, is that I have a lot of stuff already, and being both a collector and a creative, I think that my buying pattern is like a lot of other people, and that you almost buy a lot of things for future use, not for like right now. And so I'm trying to just shop in my stash instead of shopping, and it's working out pretty good so far, actually. That's good. Because I definitely don't realize like how much shopping that I do out of just, what's the word, like impulse, but I do. And so I've actually found myself saving money a little bit during this time, because I mean, number one, you're not spending money on energy like gas, or we have a hybrid electric car, so we don't use a lot of gas anyways, but you know, you do still use it when you go on road trips and things. And so because we haven't been doing that, we haven't been spending much money on transportation, and we're not going to our offices. So it makes it a little more economical. But I am really worried about small businesses right now. My small business is sort of, it's supplemental, secondary kind of income. I still have a day job that I'm very happy to go to and to continue to do. But I know a lot of people don't, and they are, you know, entrepreneurs, every kind of business owner, from, you know, toy stores, record stores, antique thrift stores, like anybody who's, you know, kind of a smaller business. I really feel for them, because at least in Canada, we've got a pretty decent emergency offering from our federal government, not so much our provincial, but our federal. And you know, the only thing is that there's always going to be a gap. And right now, that gap that I'm seeing, hold on one second, sorry, I just have to move some of these. Anyhow, so the gap that I'm seeing right now is for really like smaller business. They're calling them sort of micro businesses, which means that they don't employ a lot of staff. So like your mom and pop shop kind of places that are kind of 1 or 2 person or family operations. Because they're not paying out, I believe it's $50,000 a year in income to an employee, they don't really qualify for the same level of support as a larger business would that had to lay staff off. So in some ways, it's kind of like we're only supporting large corporations, and that's not really very helpful. I'm just kind of worried that after this, a lot of the businesses that we love going to, your local record store, your local bookstore, right now I think it's an important time to try to shop online with them. Like it's, I think a lot of people are trying to, if their businesses weren't already online, they're trying to put them there. But what people also need to realize is that online business is only so much of your overall business. And for a lot of people, especially those with a brick and mortar store in a busy downtown, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. So support the things you love and try to shop, businesses owned by your friends, maybe. I'm trying to promote my artist friends on Facebook and social media. I have a friend who unfortunately is having to go out of business today because she just can't do it. It's too hard to maintain the rent of a downtown store. So today she is liquidating everything. But anyways, I should stop talking about this thing that we can't talk about. So I'm about halfway through the pots, still just doing a random patterns, just as my brain thinks of them. This is actually a really nice project to do at this time of year because it's going to be gardening season soon, and I have a lot of things that are going to be happening in my garden soon. I purchased a lot of seeds. I wasn't sure if food security would be impacted this summer, depending on the status of, North America depends a lot on our wonderful migrant workers that come to work for us and pick our food. And I don't know if that might get affected because of travel restrictions. So I am going to try to do my part this year to grow a little bit extra. And so if I need to help out other people, I will. We have a little free library, and I think I will probably in gardening season just fill it with extra things that I'm not keeping, to preserve. If I have, sometimes with gardens you just literally have like too much. It's nice to take part in a garden share so that you can share things with other people and also get different things than what you're growing yourself. I'm growing a lot this year though. I got my seeds. I buy seeds from a local sorry, I just have to dry this one a little. I went a bit heavy on the paint. There's a local, very popular seed greenhouse called Richter's, and I got a lot of seeds from them, and I got from Baker's Creek as well. And so I'm planting a lot of stuff. What do we want to do with this one? I already have my seedlings coming up for a few things. I've planted some lots of peppers, hot peppers, tomato plants. I've thrown some herbs, and we've been growing a lot of sprouts. So one nice sprout to grow is mung bean sprouts. It's a nice option for if you're not wanting to go grocery shopping like all the time to buy fresh greens, but you still want some healthy, vegetation in your diet. Mung bean sprouts will come to full growth in a week, and they're extremely hardy. They're enough for several meals if you use like a large flower pot. If you watch on YouTube, if you look up Mang-Chi, she's a Korean chef, and she does a YouTube video about how to grow your mung bean sprouts, and it's a really good one. That's what got me started, actually, was Mang-Chi. And she's a really great YouTuber. She's just really cool. She shows you how to make a lot of good Korean food. And I love Korean food. In fact, I probably will get the things to make a kimchi today because I have to go out to the grocery store today, which is not my favorite thing these days, but I gotta do it. people have to eat. Starting to run out of ideas, but I just keep putting the brush on and seeing what happens. Well, it's kind of running. Let's just connect these guys like we meant to do it. Okay. I'm going to do another kind of messy line. Sorry, I got distracted. Somebody made like a weird human barking sound outside. I don't know if that picked up on the camera, but it was weird. I find these days, like, it's, you know, nobody's coming around. No one's coming to your door. So every time I hear somebody outside, I'm sort of not suspicious, but just curious about what it could be. We had a weird, I don't know, I'm not a paranoid person. Well, sometimes I am. But we had a truck parked out front of our house the other night, and it had its lights on, and it sat there for like over an hour, and I was getting ready for bed, and I was going into a dark room and peeking out the front window at it to see like what this person was doing, but they were sitting in their vehicle in the dark. And they had really tinted windows, so I couldn't see what they were up to, and it totally made me very creeped out. But, like, what do you do in that situation? Am I being, like, I guess, ridiculous? Like, he's not doing anything. They're just sitting in their vehicle. They could just be, like, waiting for someone. But it was really unnerving, and I don't know if it's just right now, or it may have unnerved me, like, even in normal times. But he thankfully left before it was time for me to actually go to bed, because I'm not sure if I could have gotten to sleep with him sitting in front of the house. I don't know. What to do next? What to do next? Let's think. Let's paint half of this one, maybe. The bottom half. Ooh. This paint is so thin, and it wants to drip, but it spreads nicely. It's a really weird paint, actually. I don't even know. I think this came in sort of like a thrift store package. I didn't buy this specifically. I've had it for a long time. This isn't the kind of thing I would normally really buy. But I'm happy I have it because it's so pretty and gold. It smells horrible, though. Probably I should be wearing a mask, but I do have a lot of fresh air coming in, so it's not really too stinky. Let's start with a line. Then maybe... yeah, that'll do. Maybe the line this way. This is a good mental challenge, how many patterns you can come up with no planning. So I'm trying to think about what I want to do for my next video in my alphabet series, because it's the letter B, and I was thinking batik, but that might be really time consuming to set up the camera and everything in my dye studio, or I don't know. We'll see. Because I would like to show like the process of batik, maybe even partial, maybe just like some encaustic fabric painting or something. I have a little bit to talk about with the sustainability of batik in the quilting world. So It might be a worthwhile video. Okay. One more little stack. 2, 4, 6. We have 8 to go. 8 to go. Can I get through 8? Whoa. What am I doing? Okay. If any of these turn out badly, I'm just going to tell everyone that my daughter painted them. Actually, she'd probably do a better job. Hey everyone, so I finished getting all of these little guys planted and I'm really happy about how they turned out. Next is just getting them all nice and watered and then put up on the windowsill in my office. So yeah, the pots turned out cute. I'm happy with them. I decided not to bother with the decoupage. I think that they are good as is. And yeah, I think they're really going to brighten things up in here. Because right now, my windowsill is super bare. But I did get these really cute cubes. They're like fractal, beautiful, like square cubes. But I think I have to take them out of the windowsill because they can be blinding at certain angles, as you're probably able to see on camera. But they're really pretty. Anyhow, that has nothing at all to do with these guys. So yeah, I'm going to pop them in the windowsill and call it a day. Take care, and thanks for hanging out with me on this craft along, plant along with me. Hopefully you're getting some plants ready for your garden or your house or whatever. And you get something to brighten up your days, because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of winter. So thank you for watching, and check the description box for all of my social media. Like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell. I'd love to have you hang out here with me. Have a good day.